everyone, I'm Vilma Gonzalez, and I'm thrilled to have Anna Todd here today, author of After. Anna, you have had a pretty major year. Congratulations on everything, on the deal with Gallery Books. We're getting closer to November 25th, which is the release date for After. You know, what's this year been like? How are you feeling?
It's been insane and really exciting. It's been a dream come true year for me. So I'm just trying to keep up with all the craziness.
With all the craziness that's happening, and it's going to continue to happen, especially, you know, after the book is out and in the hands of a larger audience. So that must be pretty exciting. And After really started with your love for One Direction, in particular Harry Styles. So writing One Direction fan fiction as Imaginator 1DX, your story is the most read series online with over 900 million reads, which is absolutely and totally insane. How did you get started?
I was part of the fandom, and that's a big thing in our fandom is to read and write 1D fanfic, and so I was just kind of in between them, and I thought I could do this. I want to do it myself, and then I didn't expect anyone to read it, so now a lot of people have. And it's way outside the fandom now too, which is really cool and insane.
And so for those of us that aren't familiar with After yet, tell us a little bit about the story. What can we expect?
It's not your typical One Direction fan fiction, what you would think of it. It's really emotional and intense, and it's just a lot of plot twists and unexpected things, so expect the unexpected.
And they're not in a band either, right?
No, not at all. They're college students, and they're in the same circle, but they're not in any kind of band. They're their own characters.
And so speaking of the characters, our two protagonists are Hardin and Tessa. What can you tell us about them? What are they like? What are their personalities like?
Tessa is very sweet, and she's been sheltered, raised by a single mother, and she has the fixer personality, so she's always trying to fix the people around her and the people that she cares about. She's very into reading and very into school. And Hardin is the opposite of Tessa in every way, basically, except for their love for books. They share that.
He's our bad boy.
Yes, he's bad boy for sure. Typical bad boy at first, but as you get to know him, he struggles with addiction and some family problems. He had a really rough childhood, and he meets Tessa, and everything kind of changes, and he goes from hating everyone to her being his entire world.
And the story goes from there. Did you know the kind of story that you wanted to write in the beginning, or did the story kind of take shape as you wrote it and as you heard fan comments? How did the story kind of build itself?
It started as a book. I was sort of writing everything I would want to read myself, and I wanted to take some risks with writing, and so I did. And it took shape sort of from the readers, but mostly I didn't really know the end until I wrote it, but I knew the basic story I wanted to write.
And, speaking of your readers, they are incredibly engaged with you. You interact with them every single day on social media. You have a huge, Twitter following and Instagram following. With the way that you published them, you got that feedback immediately. How did that, their feedback, their comments, their enthusiasms, their likes and dislikes, how did it shape the story? Did it influence kind of what you wrote after that, or can you tell us a little bit about that?
It really helps as a first-time writer, especially to get the immediate feedback, so you see what they like, what they don't like, if they're catching on to things. Like with my plot twist, if too many people are starting to comment on like little hints I'm dropping, I'll change it up to keep them on their toes, and it's a really interesting way to write, to have that immediate feedback, and so much of it at the same time.
Because I think in traditional fiction, you don't really get that large-scale feedback until once it's out. To have that in the beginning must be kind of such a great thing, to be able to kind of listen exactly to how they're feeling, or if you're getting those reactions that you plan to
and
get.
it's nice when you write something that you want to be so emotional, and you're emotional while writing it, and then you see the comments and they're having the same reaction. It's really cool.
I'm sure with all those plot twists that you planned,
It's
people
really
weren't
funny.
Always happy. So
yeah, most of them were like, you can't even read it. It's just like them mashing on their keyboard, so it's really funny to go back and read them.
So many books have started in fan fiction and have become incredibly popular. What do you think it is that makes us kind of want that so badly and devour it so hungrily? What is it about fan fiction that we love so much?
I think we just want more of everything we love. we just want more and more, and we can live in that world as long as we want with fan fiction. And with alternate universe fan fiction, especially, you can create things that were never in the real person life or in the book life.
And actually, you know, one of the things that fans have been really demanding is a movie. So they've been aching for after the movie for quite some time, and the options or the book rights for the movie have been purchased. What can you tell us about that? Is it, you know, exciting, scary, surreal, all of the above?
All of the above. Mostly exciting, but scary and surreal at the same time, but really, really exciting.
Can you imagine, you know, going into a theater and purchasing a ticket to see your book come to life?
Not at all, but I'm excited about it.
Well, you know, we've talked a lot about your story and your characters, and, you know, now that the book is coming out, you're going to be introduced to a whole new audience. So let's get to know you a little bit better. I have a very quick speed round of questions, some fun questions, so, you know, let's get started. Favorite song of the moment?
Blood Bank by Bon Iver. It never changes. It'll always be my favorite song.
Favorite song ever.
Ever.
Favorite movie?
Sleepless in Seattle.
Favorite TV show?
Vampire Diaries.
Favorite pastime thing to do?
Reading.
Of course.
Yeah.
Favorite food?
Tacos.
Favorite book or author?
Tons, but I have some, of course. I rated her little bookshelf. Well, not little, humongous bookshelf. And R.K. Lilly is one of them. And Christina Lauren and E.L. James. So they're all amazing.
You talked about earlier when we were talking that 50 Shades of Grey kind of just really inspired you to kind of get going, get started. And
it changed my entire life, really. Like, it just totally opened up my eyes to an entire world of books that I never really would have picked up on my own. And so I'm really glad. If I wouldn't have read it, I wouldn't have written after. I know that. So I'm really glad that I did.
Pretty amazing. So craziest fan moment, or one of the craziest fan moments you've had?
Being recognized in public for the first time was really surreal, but kind of scary, but amazing at the same time. I wasn't expecting it, so when they came up and were like, "Are you Anna?" and I just like kind of froze for a minute, but it was really amazing. So it was the most intense, I think, because I wasn't expecting it at all.
It can only get crazier from here. So speaking of this huge year you have, what's been one of the best moments you've experienced so far?
Finding out that I had a publishing deal was the biggest, because when I started writing it, I just love books and I love reading so much, and so to have people feel that way about something I wrote is incredible.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me and answering all the questions, and we cannot wait till November 25th when After is out. You just actually shared the cover last week.
I've been hiding it. This is the cover, and I love it, so I hope everyone else loves it too.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.